Hi, Oscar. Let's talk about full spectrum nutrition as one of the key principles in Hope for Cancer treatment centers. And I know you have over a decade as a nutritionist and working extensively with cancer patients. So let's talk about the major aspects of nutrition, one of them being, for example, diet rotation or rotating your diet.
As Mother Nature has intended, now we've always had variation in our diet. Nothing really grows always in the same season, right? We don't have the same fruits in the same season unless you live in different areas, right? You may have it, but if we talk about general population, they don't really have the same fruits, the same vegetables every month of the year, correct?
So, or at least not the same ones, right?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So variation is actually very critical. Variation in consuming different vegetables and consuming different fruits and consuming different protein, both animal and vegetable, depending on what you eat. Consuming different fats also, because in the full spectrum, we require a full spectrum nutrition, where essentially it's going to give us all the antioxidants, all the vitamins, all the minerals, all the amino acids, and all the essential fatty acids. We know today that if we consume one food and we repeat it over a period of 4 days or 5 days, your body is going to create a reaction against it.
Instead like of a sensitivity problem.
Correct, correct. Instead of thinking it's something that's going to nourish, it's going to actually change the spectrum and react as inflammation against it, correct? And if we talk more direct about cancer, cancer is so dynamic, it's so adaptable. We can't really put a plan to it because it reacts so differently, right? It can really adapt to what you're consuming. It may work for a certain period of time, but then you have to change it up. Now you have to change the diet so your body's always one step ahead of what we call the game, right? So variation is critical, not only in a healthy patient, but in a patient that has a chronic disease is actually more important. So changing up everything that you consume during the week, the way that you cook also is actually very important, right? So
I had a grandmother, Oscar, that died at 103 years of age. And when she was 95, I asked her, hey, Grandma, give me your 3 main reasons for longevity. And one of them was to eat her 3 meals at the same time every day. And I know that for a fact because if her breakfast was not there at that time, everyone knew about it. So maybe she had something going there with respect to maybe dietary habits.
So dietary habits are critical from the point of how much water or the timing of water that you drink to how you prepare to eat your meal, right? To the timing of meals and the frequency of meals, right?
Without getting too crazy and obsessed and stressed, right? Because that could also be happening, right?
Correct, definitely. And that can change the whole breakdown or the process of digestion. If we get too stressed, if we get obsessed, in this case, that is going to bring us back into a reaction where our digestive tract is not going to be able to really work 100%, and then we're not really going to get the nourishment that we actually
so do
have
the
to
best
have.
You can. Right, because no one's perfect, and do better next day, right?
Correct, exactly. It's always something that we're going to try to build, right? So with timing, your body always is going to ask you for food if you keep the rhythm at the same time. Right. So if you always wake up at 8 o'clock and eat breakfast at 9 o'clock, your body's always going to ask you at that time, right? So the idea is always to keep it in that rhythm, right? Because naturally, if you go a little bit farther than the time that you're accustomed to eat, your body's going to go into a different mechanism of metabolism. You're going to start to break down other forms of energy that you have stored in your body, and that's really going to be more of an acidic state, of producing energy. So the rhythm of food is actually critical always, because your body likes a bit of of a schedule. It likes to be in a schedule. Like if you work out every day at 8 o'clock, it likes you to work out every day. So if you eat always with a pattern, the idea is always to maintain it, right? In this case.
So in addition to that, then besides quantity, right, and then we could talk about quality of food.
Correct.
No GMOs.
No preservatives,
organic,
no processed foods, nothing like that. Naturally, we've we've read that consuming processed foods can lead to chronic diseases in many forms, from consuming trans fatty acids that can lead to cardiovascular disease, that also from eating foods that are covered with dyes, leading to in this case kidney disease or correlation to cancer even also, right? There's multiple things why we need to eliminate processed food from our diet, right? But one key thing that you have to have in a basic criteria, is that if you can't make it in your household, if you can't produce in your household, if you can't read it or pronounce it, the idea is that you don't purchase it for your home, right? As simple as that. And this comes back to following the pattern of Mother Nature, as natural as possible, right? Whatever you can have in your diet is what Mother Nature intended for you to eat.
Oscar, tell us why we should eat organic food.
There's many reasons why we should really go 100% organic. We'll talk the first point that is actually one of the critical ones, is the contamination levels that they may have. We know that pesticides and herbicides have certain heavy metals that may intoxicate the body. In a way, any other thing that may cause a burden in the body may create more stress. Specifically, we know that most of our patients are very unique and they detox in a very unique way. So cutting down contamination to their system would be one of the main priorities to do. Second would be the nutritional value that we've known for years now. There have been studies that conventional farming tends to reduce the nutrient content. We can find studies of saying that vitamin C is 50% less than it was 50 years ago, correct? So ensuring that we're going to get organic vegetables, organic fruits, we're ensuring that we're going to get something clean as much as possible. Now, the nutritional content, that's very independent to how they grow it, right? And this is where we're going to talk about, again, doing the best that you can.
Right.
Because some patients have availability of getting organic, and some other patients don't have the availability to get organic. And when we say do the best that you can, if it's not available, don't worry about being that's only conventional. Just wash your vegetables and your fruit correctly, and just go with what we say, as close to Mother Nature as possible in your diet. Right.
Yeah, this is why the 7 key principles are important, because we don't live in a perfect world.
Correct.
We don't have perfectly organic food, so
Correct.
the detoxing, the oxygenation, the building up our immune system, so it could all work synergistically.
Correct.
And Oscar, another issue is that there's plenty of studies out there, oftentimes too confusing for patients, right?
Yes.
To say, is it this, is it that? So I like how you talked about rotating the diet. We talked about variation. We talked about quantity and quality, right? And so it's so important for patients to realize and learn this, and then take it home and empower their family,
Correct.
their community, and so forth.
Correct.
Yeah.
And this is a key thing, because if we make a change in the patient, we know that change is going to be replicated in their family. And if it's replicated in their family, it's going to be replicated in their community, right? Because of the community support. So if we make that change, we know that we're not only making a change for them, we're making a change for generations to come, right?
Yeah.
And in that form, we're reducing the capability of producing chronic diseases.
And then we're truly doing medicine, like the father of medicine said, we are what we eat, right?
Exactly.
So we want to be healthy, we want to have a sound mind, sound spirit, and therefore live the way we're supposed to live,
Exactly.
with energy, ability to focus and concentrate.
Yeah, live a healthy life.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, thank you so much, Oscar.
Thank you, Dr. Tony.
Mm-hmm.